Staying with the latest from India, former Civil Aviation Minister Praful Patel will be questioned by India's Enforcement Directorate tomorrow. This in connection with an alleged aviation scam. Patel will be questioned in connection with the money laundering probe involving corporate lobbyist Deepak Talwar. The Enforcement Directorate has also said that and alleged that lobbyist Deepak was in regular touch with the former aviation minister and acted as a middleman in negotiations to favor foreign private airlines. The ED also alleges that this caused losses to the national carrier Air India. The ED has said that it has a concrete evidence, including email conversations between Deepak Talwar and Praful Patel. According to the charge sheet, the investigation has revealed that Talwar allegedly obtained undue favors for the private airlines using his contacts. It's a major boost to India's underwater capabilities and the Indian Navy's maritime rescue operations and aspirations. A deep submergence rescue vehicle, or DSRV, has successfully conducted a mating exercise off the coast of Visakhapatnam. What does that mean? DSRVs are small submarines that are specially designed to dive to greater depths than most military submarines and rescue stranded crews in the event of an emergency. The operation was carried out with the help of the Indian Navy's submarine INS Sindhudwaj, which simulated as a sunken vessel. In other words, the INS Sindhudwaj simulated a submarine in distress from which the DSRV was able to transfer stranded personnel successfully. The personnel were transferred from Sindhudwaj to DSRV underwater and brought safely to service. The DSRV is smaller than most military submarines. That means it can be transported by specially equipped ships or the Indian Forces heavy lift aircraft, such as the C-17, to the vicinity of a submarine emergency spot. The Indian Navy described the submarine operation as a historic achievement. This operation goes a long way when it comes to enhancing India's maritime rescue capabilities and in ultimately making India a submarine rescue provider in the Indian Ocean Rim Association. The DSRV was inducted into the Indian Navy in December last year, and since then the Navy's efforts have been targeted at perfecting this new skill. The World Bank has slashed its global growth forecast for 2019 to 2.6%. This is opposed to the 2.9% growth that was forecast in January this year. But what is interesting here is that despite revising its global growth rate, the World Bank has not changed its numbers for India. The World Bank has retained projections for India's economic growth at 7.5% for the current fiscal year. The World Bank also pegged the growth at the same 7.5% for the next 2 fiscal years. For India, a growth of 7.5% is pretty good, given that its economy grew just 6.8% in 2018-19. The growth had further plunged to 5.8% in the fourth quarter, which was a 5-year low. But investments are expected to receive a setback this year. The World Bank said that investment rate in India is expected to grow at a slower pace this year as compared to 2018. The World Bank made a reference to the Pulwama terror attack and the Balakot airstrike in its report as well. I'm quoting from it, skirmishes between India and Pakistan in February are a reminder that latent geopolitical tensions can flare up at any time. Let's take a look now at the global growth that has been projected. The World Bank report said, and I'm quoting further, global growth in 2019 has been downgraded to 2.6%, 0.3 percentage point below the previous projection, reflecting the broad-based weakness observed during the first half of the year, including a further deceleration in investment amid rising trade tensions. There are various factors responsible for this cut in global growth forecast. The US-China trade war, of course, is one of the factors. Washington and Beijing have been locked in a trade dispute since the beginning of the year. The two countries have slapped each other with sanctions as well. The US has even blacklisted China's tech giant Huawei, and Beijing is expected to retaliate with a similar blacklist. The International Monetary Fund recently predicted that trade tensions between the two countries will subtract about 0.3% of the global GDP. All of this, along with Washington's protectionist policy, expected to take a toll on global growth. The other factor being Brexit. Some experts say that a no-deal Brexit could have a severe impact on the UK economy and, in turn, on the global economy. It could also impact Britain's European trading partners in the event of disruptions and delays at the border. Financial stability could be impacted overall. Other factors include build-up of government debt and slowdowns that were deeper than expected in several major economies. If the World Bank numbers turn out to be true, then the global trade growth in 2019 would be the weakest since the 2008 financial crisis.